Hello and welcome to the PM show, our first of 2022. Here we go, another fantastic year of modelling, kit releases, new stuff being announced. So yes, it should be a very interesting year. Hopefully you've all had a good start to the actual season and things like that, and starting to get your orders in early. Definitely. We doing all right then, gentlemen? Lots of stuff going out?
Yes, been pretty busy actually over the weekend, the new year. So obviously we're off on Monday, back yesterday for first day back. So yeah, so catch up and get the orders done and all that, and obviously the auction that we did on Sunday as well.
And the New Year's sale we did on Saturday, which went very well. So thank you very much, Potty.
So it was that usual thing, wasn't it? People at Christmas, it goes very quiet. Christmas Day, possibly Boxing Day, and then the day after, everyone's bored. And they're like, what can I do? To go back and do a bit of modelling, to be honest. Escape the family. So yes, you often feel that. You can literally see that. The forum goes very quiet and all the rest of it, and then all of a sudden everyone's back. I'm here to escape even for a couple of hours. So yes, very good. But anyway, it's been a good start to the year. This particular, we've got various things coming up for kit releases and stuff like that, which we thought we'd talk about today. Obviously start off with Airfix on Monday at 4 o'clock, releasing their 2022 catalogue. So any ideas what that could be?
Nope. Not a clue, actually. Not a clue. I know there's a few rollovers from last year, isn't there? Like the Tempest, is it? And the ambulance was due out this year. Which were... But that is it. Got no idea really, not a clue. Interesting.
I must admit, we've had a bit of a think though, haven't we? And we have been saying that I'm still standing by that we need a Wessex.
Yep.
Because it's on the kit box. It's a joke with us and Airfix over that one. And obviously we think there could be a Phantom coming in 48 scale.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know. Jag. I think a Jag is some second decent.
Say a Jag, because obviously we were discussing this with obviously Pramjet and things like that. Is that they're covering some really solid all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's some noticeable little gaps. We were saying about the Bulldog.
Tornado.
As I say, well, we just say Tornado may be still a little bit fresh, isn't it? Because they tend to do stuff that's not in service, and technically it's just fallen out. But Jag, you think, should be around. So I don't know.
It will be, yeah. We've got no clue.
We are speculating.
Just guessing that what could be released, but
we'll be bringing out a 30-second Lancaster then.
24th. This is Airfix. It's a 24th scale, clearly. But it'd be interesting to see what they've got planned. As I said before, we have got some stuff rolling over from last year that got delayed. Some stuff got completely sidestepped, wasn't it? Like the Vixen.
I think that was year before.
Got pushed completely off.
2020, I think the beginning, wasn't it? That got sort of dropped because of pandemic and all that lot. So. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the catalogue and what they're going to be releasing over the current year.
Again, and off of the back of their TV show and the bits and pieces they were doing with that, I think Airfix are on quite a roll at the moment. So it will be interesting to see. Let's see if their website crashes like last year.
God.
Everything fell. Why they didn't just stick it all on YouTube and be done with it? But there you go. Anyway, hopefully that'll be a good one. Obviously, we'll be looking at that next week to see what they're up to and what's coming out.
Yes, definitely.
And obviously, our favourite manufacturers out there, like the likes of ICM, they've got obviously a lot coming out. Hopefully this year.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I think as well. I know we sort of mentioned it a little bit last week, didn't we? But I think there's still some things for them to announce. I don't think that's their full release schedule that's been up. I think there's going to be a couple of surprises in there, but I don't know. You never know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that Sky Crane in 35th. I've got a helicopter in 35th.
That's your thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. It's going to be big.
Oh, it's a beast.
It's going to be a big thing. But in 35th, I think they've actually got the right scale for an helicopter. We keep harping on, and they've obviously scaled the Cobra as well to 35th.
Yes.
So whether that's the trend now for them.
Which again, it's like, I know we discussed this a little bit the other day, but I think it's a valid thing to talk about. Is that it's funny how some manufacturers have tried 35th, and as we were talking about, obviously border models with their stuff, it doesn't seem to have captured the imagination, shall we say. definitely with the aftermarket people. And is this something perhaps that they've noticed with the Cobra doing it in 32nd? That actually ICM have thought, you know what, we've missed the boat here. We should have gone for 35th. So now they're re-releasing it in 35th, because let's face it, you're only talking, what, a centimetre difference in scale. So it's such, like, I've obviously did the 32nd one. And, you know, to me, to be honest, it's in a case and it's right next to my Seahawk, and you can't see that much difference in it. It's not like it's noticeable. So for them to actually go you know, it's not just a case of Honey, I Shrunk It, as we know. They've actually had to redo it, you know, completely, and reconfigure everything, new tooling, obviously with the molds and all the rest of it. So yeah, it does seem strange for just that little bit of difference, you know. But maybe they've thought, you know what, we've done it wrong. Hands up, we're going to do it now and do it right in 35th. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I agree with you. Why retool something when you've already got a 32nd one out to 35th? Like I say, the difference is, well, it is a difference, because we've seen, obviously, when we put the 32nd 109 against the 35th one, there is quite a considerable size difference where you don't really think it is, but it is. But again, it's an interesting decision, and obviously picking out the Sky Crane as well, which obviously is going to work with, because that was, you know, for if it's whatever it's going to be picking up for, if you want dioramas or whatever, is ideal. In 32nd, that's not going to work, is it? Really, I don't think it's. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see in the future what they bring out in. If they're carrying on down the helicopter route and keep with 35th, or go back to 32nd, or swap between the two, I don't know. Hope they do keep with 35th.
It makes you wonder whether or not people who have bought the 32nd one would then also buy the 35th one, or would they then just sell the...
Funnily enough, I would build the 35th one, where I wouldn't build the 32nd one. Yeah. But that's an armour side of me where it all ties together. So...
But like we said before, like, you know, I did obviously done the 32nd one. If I was given the option, which one would I build? I would always do the 35th one, because it goes with my other 35th scale gear. You know, I've done lots of helicopters. The only two helicopters I've ever done in 72nd, one above Matt there, is the Wessex and the Cobra. You know, and that's because there wasn't an option for in 35th, so that's why I ended up doing them that way. But again, it does seem to be a strange decision for them to make when you've already got one, because again, if you've got one in your stash, would you then be thinking, oh, I'll get it in 35th and then sell the 32nd, but then who's going to buy the 32nd one if everyone's thinking the same? So, you know, and are you that worried about it? You know, maybe it's a helicopter, the
thing that confused me, you know, the Sky Crane was quite a Vietnam
well, that was
helicopter, but they're bringing out a late Cobra. They're not bringing the early one out.
No,
it's a G, isn't it, they're bringing out, which is 80s, is that?
No. It was still the G was. Don't forget, the G model is the one that I did as well. It's only when you become the S's where they get the really late ones where they're totally different.
Okay. So that'll still tie in then.
It will still tie in. Yeah, definitely.
60s, 70s sort of era. So
it is funny, you know, if you think of all the helicopters that were available, say in the Vietnam War, because you've built the horse, haven't you? The H-34.
Yes.
Which was like the early Wessex, if you like, as we call it. You know, as well, is that they haven't done that. They haven't done a Huey yet, which is obviously the most iconic one out there. Although I still think that is in there somewhere, purely because of we've seen hints of it around. But again, you know, there is very much iconic ones in there. And to jump straight in with a Sky Crane, although, yes, obviously it was there and all the rest of it wasn't there in mass numbers like other helicopters were. So, you know,
Trumpy to do early Chinook, don't they? They do an 8.
Yeah.
They can get, I mean, and that's not a small rump, is it?
No.
So, it's, I agree with you with like the H-34, because that's quite a common word.
Because that was quite common back then.
You'd be going for Stallions next in 30.
Yeah, and that would be it as well, doing the 46s, CH-46s, you know, because obviously they were all over the place.
Can you imagine that in Blooming 35th? That would be just... horrendously big. I mean, it's big in 48th, isn't it? You know, the Academy kits in 48th. I know they're later ones, but the Sea Stallions and stuff. But that is a big lump.
It is. They are very, very big.
But again, I mean, there's Sea Kings, isn't there? What about a 35th Sea King?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you know, loads of countries used it. It's an iconic helicopter, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. But it does make you wonder if they will do. Obviously, they're doing the the Sky Crane is based technically on, and obviously the common parts are going to be quite a lot between that and the normal Jolly Green Giant CH-53.
Yeah.
And you think of how many versions you could do off the back of that, because it was running to the modern versions as well. Are they perhaps going to go the whole hog and some point bring out Jolly Green? You know,
I'll be excited.
because that would be lovely. If somebody said, "Oh, you can do a Sky Crane or just the normal CH-53 Jolly Green," oh God, I'd be all over that.
Especially,
and we said before, there's lots of countries that used it.
That's definitely bigger than a cutter mat size, though, isn't it?
That is a bit bigger than here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was on about my Hella Freylon, Super Freylon.
Yeah.
And that's a big helicopter, to be honest. In 30 feet, it's a big helicopter in real life, but that's a big lump. So how big compared to that is a thing? I presume it's bigger. The Super Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
I presume it's bigger than a Freylon.
Yeah, I think they are. There wouldn't be that much in it because the Freylon's a big old lump, isn't it?
Big, so it's a massive helicopter.
I don't think there'd be too much difference, but I don't know the sizes off the top of my head. But yeah, there wouldn't be that much in it. But yeah. The trouble you've got, obviously, is the rotors, as we said before. You've got something the size of a dustbin lid.
That's the downside with an helicopter, though, isn't it? Is the rotor span rather than the actual fuselage span.
Yeah.
But again, can't you fold up a Jolly? You can fold up a Jolly Green Giant, can't you? You could do it so it's all.
Yeah. I assume you could. Yeah.
Transport, didn't they? When they brought them over, they're all folded up, and then.
Yeah.
So again, if they gave you that option, it's not so bad. The folded option, is it?
No.
And same with the Wessex and all the others. Really, it's all the H-34, presumably all folded up for.
Yeah. No, they did.
But I think.
But again, it's interesting how ICM have done this. Is obviously they've gone down the helicopter route, and then they've dropped in. What is a very iconic helicopter, even to today, with obviously Ericsson using them and all the rest of it. For water bombers and towers and all the rest of it, they use them for. And again, it's one of those ones where it's just not a mainstream, but it's a really cool one.
Yeah.
So it's nice that the people obviously who sit down around a nice desk and they discuss what we're going to do next have a bit of imagination. We're not just going to go with, we'll do a normal helicopter. Let's do something a bit different. And to do the Sky Crane, because again, like we said before, you could underslung anything from a container through to vehicles and all the rest of it that goes to howitzers to.
Me and Matt looking the other day, and we've got pictures up of all the different things that they were lifting up, didn't we?
Well, there's helicopters underneath hanging.
Yeah, helicopter.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a Chinook?
Yeah, we'll do.
It's either that or
was it one picking up two Hueys?
Or an H-30. It might have been an H-34. There was something hanging off underneath one anyway, and they just again though when they've gone into their little meeting and go, right, what shall we design and do for 2022 or whatever, and somebody goes, why don't we do Sikorsky Sky Crane?
Yeah.
People sitting there going, are you absolutely nuts in 35th as well? It's like, hold on a minute. But to be fair with ICM, they do pull out some now and again different stuff you wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
But you've got to think as well now, they've got they as a company have got all their ducks in a row, as in they've got their cash cows. They've got the Dorniers, the Ju-88s, the 111s, the stuff that sells day in, day out, so they can have the finances to go, well, let's try something a bit left field. Let's try and see how that goes, and they can probably afford to do it and give it a go. Where obviously other companies, it's probably a risk. I think they're at that level now where they can. I don't know how all the Broncos sold, because we've got the new one coming in anyway at some point. But they're obviously going that era of Vietnam, aren't they? With the releases they've done,
Well, if you look at them, they sort of did the light bomber, a medium bomber. World War II.
Yeah.
And obviously been very successful, we just said, with that, because they are probably best in scale as all those. And now they've obviously stuck with the sort of Vietnam era of helicopters. And obviously light observation aircraft with the bird dogs and stuff like that.
Counter Invaders coming out as well, isn't it?
That's it.
As well, that's out this year as well. So I think there's been obviously some thought there of where we're going, and they. Right, we'll cover this genre, shall we say, or this conflict or whatever, and then, but obviously they pick stuff where they can offshoot it as well to get the most out of the mould. So it's a good way of running a business, I think. I think so. It is as well. To be honest, it's really well thought out, and
And it's good. I think also what I like about ICM is every time they do a release, I get quite excited about it. You know, and it's one of those you do. And other manufacturers, they're like, oh, they're releasing something, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cold. Don't do anything for me. You know, but ICM, they're one of those companies where if I know they're going to be releasing something, I will purposely go and look for it until normally other manufacturers, I get told it, you know, but ICM, it's like, oh, they're planning on whatever. It's like, oh, right, okay, let's have a look, see what they're up to, you know, and it's always quite exciting stuff. And also from a building point of view, I do like ICM. Their kit's always very good. I know some people have moaned about kits not going together correctly and various things. Again, sometimes I think that could be a little bit of user error, because generally I've never had a problem with any of their kits going together, and they're usually what I would call a nice straightforward build. It's not over the top, but like, you know, I do say with most of the reviews for them, you can add. You know, you can go down the aftermarket route because the aftermarket people are usually on them. So, you know, but you do get a very basic engine perhaps. So you can go in there and add all your wiring to it and detail it up, or you can just cover it over, you know, and just do it straightforward, sort of, you know, something ready to go. But the kits lend themselves very nicely to aftermarket getting in there. They're not overly complicated. And, you know, to be honest, they're usually at a good price.
Yeah. As well, that's it. I mean, it sounds daft, but I know I've seen they're releasing a Mercedes Unimog truck.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an early one. They'll do a later one, but I think this is like one of the early ones that they do, and actually I'm quite looking forward to that. I think it's German army as in the 60s, I think it is, from there, and obviously East-West and Cold War, and but you can use them in civil. If you actually Google them, you can do a lot with them.
Yeah.
I think it's quite a cool looking vehicle, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know. It's good release schedule, I think, and looking forward to them. The other one, is the Zvezda.
Yes.
I think Zvezda stuff again. So to tie in with our fanboy ICM Zvezda thing we were going on.
This is it.
Well, it is, isn't it? Let's be honest. But they are, because again, Zvezda released some good stuff. They're doing the MI35 in 48, aren't they? The SU25, as we've mentioned, which is, I mean, I think there's been some, it's going to be basic, it's going to be this, but what you got to compare it to? KP or an OEZ kit from 1980s, 90s. It's so long in the tooth. So you're going to be able to, the aftermarket people are just going to jump all over it. So what you get, be happy with it, and you can then go to wherever you want. But we've not even seen it. Could be really good. But also, we were just saying they're doing a Kamaz Paris Dakar,
which is going to be the coolest thing ever.
That's going to be massive, isn't it?
No, they're only doing it in 35th.
I know, but it's still a big.
Oh, it's a big lump.
It's a big lump.
It's a big truck, but in 35th as well works. Normally it's 24th for trucks and stuff, but 35th is going to be ideal, shall we say, diorama or video.
It's going to be a perfect for a little diorama, isn't it? Coming off, you just know he's going to be, the front wheels are going to be off the ground, dust behind it,
dust, exactly. Dust trail, it's just, I'm going to say.
Telford next year, there'll be a load of them. Everyone's diorama will roughly look the same, but it would be very, very cool. So, but again, that's good because it's that little bit of thought going into it. We do a Kamaz, and then somebody says, why don't we just do that as a Paris Dakar version? And it's like, brilliant. Good job.
They win it every year in the class, don't they? They're just indestructible blooming things, aren't they? They're absolutely so robust and a proper Russian truck, and they just, and they look great, don't they? Let's be honest. Yes. It's going to be interesting. I wonder if it's going to have full Red Bull.
I was going to say, you're going to have the full livery for it.
Yeah, you imagine it.
So.
But that sort of truck that goes through the sand dunes, though, isn't it? Not over them because it's so.
Yeah, it just ploughs through it. Why go round something when you go through it?
Yeah.
So who was it? Was it Guy Martin who went to the factory? Wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I remember watching it, and they let him drive one round, didn't they? And he would just hammer it, just put your foot down and just
go for it.
You can't break them. They're just amazing. But because they're doing a dump truck version as well, aren't they?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think they've obviously done what the military use. So capitalize on the moulds as you do, and do a bit of civil stuff. I presume the military use dump trucks as well. But again, if you do your Googling, there's plenty of other options you can do for your painting and weathering, and
definitely, for
that sort of thing. So. And then there's a few other releases. They're doing a Yak 9, is it, as well? Tooled Yak 9, I think, and a IL2 single seat.
Yeah.
So, good stuff.
On them, yeah. And obviously Mini Art we spoke about the other day as well. Mini Art always going for it, but something a little bit different from them is P47.
Yes.
With the Thunderbolt in 2 flavours.
Yeah.
48th aircraft, or first aircraft with wings, I think, because others have been helicopters, haven't they, or rockets or something. That'll be interesting, especially in the 2 flavours, the sort of beginner range and the expert range, you know. Yeah.
So, but that was, I must admit, one of those ones that came along, and I was like, you look at it, and I was thinking, it's Mini Art. They don't do aircraft. Well, you say not with wings.
They do
rotors.
Hey, they do 3-wheeler cars.
They do, and I spotted that one, and I was very impressed with it. It's a 3-wheeler ambulance. That's got to be stable as you're going along with your patient. But again, it's nice they do really, non-mainstream stuff that a lot. Like, I'd never seen one before, and I know I joked about it. I sent you guys to think about it if you've seen it, because it was one of those. Is like, that's brilliant, love it. I think that's quite clever, So
we've
nice
talked
to see
before,
them
haven't we,
doing
where the companies go, because is the market getting saturated with the kits that are coming out? But obviously, it shows that there is new stuff out there to do. If you think left field, and there is new kits to be manufactured. So
there's always subjects. It's obviously the saleability of the subjects that obviously it's all right producing them, but they've got to sell them as well to keep the doors up and pay the bills and usual stuff like we know running the business. But I just think it's definitely nice when it's not just another Tiger tank or a 109 or a Spitfire.
Yeah, it's that little tightrope, isn't it, with running the business? Obviously, they've got to sell it. There's no point having a kit that is so brilliant or wacky that no one actually wants one. So it is that fine line. But like we said before, you've got these companies now, and I think obviously last year when we lost a lot of the big companies, because they were, I think, too niche. They needed the cash cows. So we were saying you need something that sells all day long, to be able to do a bit more interesting subject, shall we say, a little bit far out subjects. And again, Mini Art's a classic because they've got a catalogue now that's massive. And obviously they've got the money invested into all of that lot, so now they can start to do other things. So they're just having a poke now, and obviously it's a bit of a test and a gamble for them to do aircraft. But if Mini Art is going to do it like they do their armour, it's going to be fully detailed, very, very nice. It looks it that I've seen in all the pictures for the big version of it, with all the detailed engines and stuff. And let's face it, the only other thing it's really up against is the Tamiya one, which isn't the level of detail that one is. So, and obviously it's, 15 years old now.
Oh, God, at least, isn't it? At least 15.
At least 15 years, 15, 16 years old now.
But again, like the P-47 is a very overlooked aircraft in every scale, really, I think.
Yeah.
For quite an iconic aeroplane that it was and what it did, like the Tamiya one, they do the 72nd and 48th one. I think the only other 48th one is the old Asagawa kit, I think.
Is it because
they do a Razorback?
Is it because it wasn't a fighter, it was a ground attack aircraft?
Yeah,
it's a bit like the Typhoon, isn't it? That doesn't really get the same recognition as the...
It's not the glamour.
Yeah.
But it's like the Hurricane to a Spitfire, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. So you've got
it is. Yeah.
Which is its glamorous, version, and then you've got the P-47, which is just a brute.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a fighter because they flew them to Germany and back as escorts.
Oh yeah.
For the bombers. So I mean, it's proper. I presume its main role was ground attack. That's where it excelled more. But it could carry a lot of stuff, carry a lot of weapons, take a lot of a beating, and fly back and repair and go again. But I don't know. I like the Razorback anyway. The Razorback's definitely my favourite version.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's good. But even in 32nd, I mean, you've got obviously the Edward version. You've got Asagawa.
Yeah.
Kit in a bubble top. Then you've got Trumpy's versions, ain't you? Which they're not brilliant, but if you want a Razorback, and then you've got the big ones who does a bigger Kinetic, don't they?
Kinetic do the 24th scale, which is a Razorback and a bubble. Yeah, I used to have that kit.
Toys or tools.
Yeah.
Somebody else. No, vintage kits or some, or vintage wings or something. I can't remember anyway. The original moulds, but they're big.
They're huge.
It'll be interesting to see what Mini Art do. Definitely with it.
Yeah, be nice with that one. The other one we were talking about was the 32nd scale Vampire by Infini?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that would be interesting to see if it's theirs or HPH's or anybody else's. I don't know. But again, they're doing a Mark 5, which I think is the good mark of a vampire, not being an expert.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Could be off there. It could be different. But again, it's not a massive airplane in real life, is it? So it's gonna go well. You know, something. It's funny. Like I'm surprised somewhere like ICM had done one of them.
Yeah.
In 32nd.
Yes. Yeah.
It's sort of thing they're tackling it, but yeah, I don't know. Be interested to see that. Mini Base.
Yes.
Friends at Mini Base are releasing an SU30. How long do you think that's going to take to build?
Well, if you look at the amount of people who have finished doing the 33, the SU33.
Have you seen one finished?
I haven't seen one fully finished yet, I don't think. Obviously, we've got one of the members on Flory Models who's doing an absolutely stunning job on his, but he's fully detailing it, so we'll let him off. But yeah, it's one of those kits. I think it's got a very high part count. It's quite a technical build because there's lots of small parts to it. And I think you might get people getting burnt out built those. You know, I know there is a few of them been done around, but for the amount that have been sold, you haven't not seeing many of them appear built yet. So yes, like we were saying, when I did the review of it and all the rest of it, it's one of those kits where it's a beautiful kit, but it's a labour of love. It's going to be one of those sort of you do one of those a year maybe, because you're going to put all the time in it and do it right, because it is very, very detailed. It's a beautiful kit, but again, I know that also puts a lot of people off because of the commitment that's involved with it, as we've spoken about before. But again, it's nice to see that they've got another one coming through now. Obviously, it's going to be Russian because it would be built off the back of the 33 to do the 30. So yeah, no, interesting to see that one coming along. The stable grows for them.
Yeah. I see, Tammy, we've got the 1 ton FD KFZ 10 coming out. Is that a new mould or is that
that one?
Yeah, is that a new mould of it?
No, it's Italy's. Says on the
box. It's theirs. All right. So, but
I was actually excited because I thought, Tammy are actually doing their own.
But it's not.
Because I quite like the little half track. I like half tracks anyway, but I quite like the little German one. And but it's Italy. It's been released before, which is a bad kit. Don't get me wrong. Don't knock it, because I think there's that, and obviously the Dragon one, which is far more detailed, but probably harder to build.
But they'll bring out the
nice kit.
KV2, aren't they? Which is
the big turret.
Big turret. Is that a new mould?
That's because they just did the KV1, didn't they? So it's going to be the same hull with a new turret, and then the Hellcats do the motorbike into it, the M18 Hellcat, the Suzuki motorbike do. Actually, hopefully, might be this month.
That big 240Z.
Yeah, that's an old kit though, isn't it? I think they're old moulds. So
what the new, what the 112th one?
Yeah, it's really old.
Is it?
Yeah.
I knew the 24th.
Right. Yeah, the 112th one's quite an old kit because they did it as a safari one back in yeah.
Oh, right.
I don't know. When Phil was a wee lad.
When I was a lad.
Yeah, I think it's
encyclopedia of knowledge of model kits.
Sad in it.
It's like Norris McWhirter of model kits.
But I mean, as on Tamiya and stuff like that, then they just release them not long before they do. So they we're not going to know them until they let us know, isn't it? Let's be honest. That could be a lot of other companies as well, isn't it? Because I mean, like, I wonder if Trumpeter and Hobby Boss will be a bit more productive, shall we say?
They were definitely quiet last year with everything that went on. So hopefully, as you say, a little bit normality, a little bit of movement won't be a bad thing. We can start to get the kids flowing.
I did see something on Facebook, I think, about Armour Hobbies and their 148 Hurricane.
Yes.
I did read. I think they put a statement up, or somebody, copied and pasted it. But they are releasing it apparently. It's just to do with obviously last year, and obviously it got delayed. But I think they're still on about doing it. So that'll be interesting for a 48 Mark 2C to go with 32nd one with Revella releasing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did see one that will completely throw you out. I bet you never saw it coming. Is that I see that Edard releasing the 48 Hind limited edition.
What again?
I did see that. Yes, I wasn't going to mention it clearly, but
what, that limited edition?
The limit. This will be the limited one. Isn't it? So.
Oh, I tell you what is due out soon as well. And if we had a price on it, we'd have done a pre-order, but AMP are doing the Gazelle, aren't they?
Yes,
And
the new tool one.
As far as I know, it's been released and it's out.
All right.
So if any members from Flory Models would like one, contact Andy.
Yeah, let me know.
We haven't got a price. I don't know how much it is, but again, a 48th Gazelle, 35th would be better, but we can't have everything.
Especially with a Gazelle, because a Gazelle, we've said, is tiny.
We've overlooked on helicopters again. The Puma.
Yeah. Matchbox
Airfix, and Italeri did one, didn't they?
I think the Italeri one, wasn't that the Cougar?
I think they did a Super Puma, weren't it?
Which is called the Cougar, isn't it? So, yeah.
But
yeah, definitely, I think the Puma's overlooked. Let's face it, the Royal Air Force's still flying them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's still going. So yeah, it would be nice to get a new tool, one of those. As I say, I thought originally that may have been sort of Airfix were going to do one, because obviously when they redid the Sea King, it would have made perfect sense to do the Puma, sort of, you know, to do it that way. But then it never materialised, so I sort of gave up thinking that. So
never know, do you? Like say, like we were saying about helicopters, though, they're just probably not the seller of an aircraft, are they? Let's be honest. I don't think they're popular with an aircraft. So if you like your helicopters, you like them, and if you don't like them, you don't, do you? So I tell you what, long overdue release from Airfix is the Lynxes.
Yeah, they've been kept quiet, haven't they, for many a year now?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, don't know. It'd be interesting to see on Monday anyway what their schedule's going to be, and I presume there are going to be some re-releases from kits that's been discontinued with different decals and stuff. So, yes, interesting year, exciting.
Definitely.
But obviously, Phil's set now. He can't build nothing new or release.
I have got one in my list. I have it. It's got literally my list, which I went through yesterday.
Yeah.
With a question mark.
Oh.
If I will do 12 every year. I do 12 builds.
Right.
So that is currently, I've got 11 in my list.
Yeah.
And then it's got question mark. So I have got room to slide something in.
Is that question mark is whether you have a holiday or...
Well, I don't have holidays. Since when?
Yeah.
I get a long weekend every 2 years, and I had that last year. So, but yes, I do. I have, and it does. It's still got a little question mark. I did mention yesterday, just for people who do want to join in with the live stuff we do, is obviously Matt's going to be doing his Freylon, because that's what he's mad into, and I'm going to be doing the... I put it down somewhere. I did it yesterday because it's not on the shelf.
Am I doing my Freylon?
Yes, you are, because we're doing it as the live build, because we're doing Hella Year this year, so I'm doing the CL215.
Okay, all right.
That's the live builds, and Andy's got to build something Hella as well.
I've never built a Hella kit in my life.
You're missing out on some French goodness.
I don't think I have, somehow.
So I'm going to get a baguette and some garlic.
Sound like Renee from Hello Hello.
This is it. It will be. We're going to be re-bringing back Hello Hello. So every time we do a live build, I'm going to put the music on at the beginning.
I might say, can we play the theme tune to
We'll have the theme tune for it.
It could be more like the policeman off Hello Hello than a...
Yes, this is it. Today we will be building.
Hey, I'll build it. Yeah, I'll dig it out. I don't mind. I'll give it a bash and...
Well, we were saying we all need a nudge to build these things. So I challenge you for the live build for this year. You can do your Freylon. I'll do the CL215.
Right, challenge accepted.
So there you go. Andy, you're going to have to find something Hella that's bad.
Yeah.
And big.
Bad.
Big and bad.
Is that anything out the catalogue?
Do you know what I'm going to send him? I've got something for him.
Oh, there you go.
116 Stug.
116 Stug, yeah. Cheers.
So yes, that's what we'll be up to this year. We'll be doing lots of live stuff, and so I'm going to be working on the CL215. Like I said yesterday's show, it'll be one of those ones where I can just take your time because it's going to need it. So.
Oh god, yeah, I've got to find some bits and bobs, and Andy's going to need to do some designing on the 3D printer. So I hope his CAD's up to speed. You better have a word with your son next door, because I'm going to need some CAD stuff.
Yes.
But he's only next door till Saturday, so.
Well, I'll give you the list after what I need for a Freylon, so you can do your research, because we need to get we need to get the 3D printer up and running, and this year is the year the 3D printer is going to need a coin.
Yes.
You know, I was actually thinking, I shouldn't say this on camera, okay? So it's definitely not going to happen this year now, because obviously if I'm tacking that frail on, then it's not. But the old, I go on about it. We know we got asked a question about what kit we would like to see and all that last week, weren't it, when we were doing Thursday's show. And I always say, I don't think there's anything, everything's out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? I have this weird helicopter thing for a Bristol Belvedere, right?
Right.
And now we're doing the Flashpoint SIG.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got the 70-second Airfix one, but it's a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs a hell of a lot of work to make it into an operational one. And I'm thinking, 3D printer.
Yes.
Because it's quite a bit different apparently from the Airfix version to the actual one that we use. Because I'm thinking, they must have used them in like the little Aden conflicts and things around the 50s or whenever 60s that we were involved with. So it would have done for the Flashpoint somewhere or another. Malaya, I think they used them in Malaya as well. But it needs a new front windscreen, complete front glass, because apparently on a Belvedere, the Airfix have moulded it in two halves. Their instrument wisdom back in 1960s, right? But there's a glass piece in the bottom, plus as well it's old Airfix and it's thick as toilet window.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a joint right in the middle of the glass that shouldn't be there. So you'd have to, loads of people just crash mold a new one, use that one as a sort of a template, whatever you want to call it, and crash mold a new one. But I'm thinking, 3D printer, could do a cockpit, interior, rotor heads, wheels.
Yeah.
You can't do the glass though in 3D printer.
No, you would have to plunge mold and make a new
one. Yeah.
You got clear resin, ain't you?
Yeah. And you where your mounting points are.
You polish it afterwards.
Yeah, been out there.
Be fine.
Been out there.
Don't know. Just thinking, because I'm looking at the 3D printer there and thinking there's so much that thing's got potential for. If I knew how to do CAD, and had any clue what to do with it. Yeah.
Never mind. Right. Okay. So we have a bit of a spin round the site. So we've got some classics in.
Well, we did have.
Well, we did have, but they've all sold out.
I'm going to get some more of our classics, I think. I will speak to our supplier because they have been so much more popular than I thought they would be. So these are ARC models, but the old frog kits. And I think they're kits that you can't get from anybody else. A Vickers Vimy.
That's it.
Do you know how big? Hey, do you know how big actually Vickers firm was back in the day? Do you know how huge that company was?
I can imagine they were massive. Yes, they did everything.
I didn't know that.
They must have been like the equivalent of BAE in World War One. They did everything.
They built everything from tanks, planes, guns, everything. Vickers, they were huge. I didn't realise actually how big a firm they was, but company.
They just needed a war to keep them going.
Yes, when it went to peacetime, they sort of run out.
That's it, innit? That's for another show. Moan about the British government. Anyway, a Barracuda.
Barracuda.
What a pretty looking aeroplane.
It's actually not bad. They've got one, haven't they, at Yeovilton at the museum?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
With the wings folded back, aren't they?
Yeah. So yes, and obviously the well-known.
Yeah.
Multi-Vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah, with its sort of gull wings and.
It's like a love child, isn't it, between a Corsair and a P-47. It's like a P-47's body with Corsair wings on it.
Yeah, and then it's got like an Helldiver canopy. Is it an Helldiver?
Yeah, it's like a Helldiver canopy onto it.
Yeah, it's a bit all over the shop, isn't it?
So, but again, when you're talking almost pocket money for them, really nice, £10.
Yeah.
And obviously the
Goodwin Lighthouse.
Yeah,
that's sold well, isn't it?
It's not. I tell you what, it's quite a big box actually. That thing that comes in. That's what they use for Radio Caroline, isn't it?
I think so. Yes. Mind you, it's 1/10 scale. 110th scale. I mean, but that's actually, as I say, going to be quite big then for a ship. So yeah.
It is in a biggish box actually. That thing. It was, a good sized box. So interesting subject, I suppose. Yeah, we'll definitely get some more. And then what's that one?
This is the HMS Tiger.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So again, in a strange scale, this is 1 to 415th scale.
Yeah, this is before it got standardised, didn't it, into ship scales and all that. This is, like I say, it's an old frog kit from.
Presumably that's going to be a fair size, though, isn't it?
Yeah, different, isn't it?
Somewhere in between, isn't it?
I'm going to send you one of those, by the way. You know that F15, sorry.
What?
Hurricane, a bit of a difference, isn't there?
Oh, this one, yes.
Because that's their own kit.
Oh, right, okay.
That's not Frogs or anybody else's. That's Arc Model's own kit. And
right, yeah. So we need to have a look at that. Yeah, definitely.
When we get the other stuff in, you can have a little review of that and see how it compares. I presume, obviously, the Airfix one.
Airfix one will be against it, won't it? Yeah.
The Italeri one are now obviously superseded it, but it's worth a look for the price. I think it's expensive, but what, 17 quid is it, something?
Yeah.
Yeah, £17. No, it's not bad at all, is it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I will
So
speak.
if you haven't heard of Arc Models, they do a bit of reboxing of other people's, but they do their own as well. So it's probably worth having a look at ScaleMate or something to see what it is in its history.
Just to have a thing about the Razor Quests. Everybody's got in it.
No, sorry, sold out.
Revel's sold out, I think. So
yes,
I will have a scoot round and see if any of our other suppliers have got any of them to get them back in stock. But it has been so popular.
I'll tell you what's funny. When you go online, if you noticed, a lot of people call it the Razor Quest.
Yeah.
Because you said it is you've done that.
Is what it is. Well, as I say, I wasn't sure if I had or hadn't in the review bit. But
What,
funny
Razor
thing is, when I've been
Quest?
going around online and looking at people's work, a lot of people call it the Razor Quest with a Q. So it's like, I think they should change the name because it does sound better.
Is that saying something that people are right?
Yeah.
No, obviously, whoever figured it's wrong.
This is it. The designers, what do they know?
Yeah.
They should have called it the
anyway,
Razor Quest.
Maybe it'll end up getting called the Razor Quest in the future.
Yes.
It's in a galaxy far, far away.
It's in a different galaxy, the Razor Quest. But hey, it does sound better. They missed the boat there.
Just call it a Razor, and then you call
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah, I'm building the Razor, then everyone's fine. But yeah, no, it's unfortunate, as you say. Hopefully, we'll get a second run of those.
Yeah, we will,
to come through. We're out of growlers as well. Sorry, that would be a review I did.
They're coming back in, so
yeah,
don't worry about that again. So yeah, again, hopefully this will be changing over the next sort of month with new arrivals and new stuff. That'd be nice.
Slow time of year at the moment, isn't it? But after the rush before Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, so special wise, we've got a few bits and pieces in here still.
Yeah.
So as I say, we have the Baran.
Yeah.
This is a new tool from Arc Models, Baran Space Shuttle, as you want to call it, whatever, the Russian version.
Yes.
In 1144, so that's not going to be small. That's going to be quite big because the Baran was bigger than the shuttle, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is.
Did it actually go into space?
No. I tell you what was really good about the Baran, though. It had its own jet engines it could use for landing.
All right.
Didn't glide, did it?
It wasn't like a glider, no. It was like a powered glider because it had its own normal engines that it could use in Earth's atmosphere, but going along as well. So how clever is that?
But never went to space.
No. I think it's a crying shame. You've seen the videos probably on YouTube of it lying in a hangar, isn't it? Just rotting. It's like, my God.
Yeah, a few of them in there, and all the roofs caved in. And...
all the roofs leaking. It's been covered in bird shit. And it's like, really? But yeah. Anyway, really interesting to see that one as well. So if you're into that type of thing, you'll love it. So yeah, you could put that on the back of one of those, what is it called? The 225s?
I've just thought of something as well.
The Revel one?
You know our Bison?
Yeah.
Micromaze just released a 1144 version of it. So if they did the cargo one, you can't put it on the back of the bomber one, but they did a cargo one, they converted the tails and stuff.
It's got the funny tail. The
A
twin
model
tails,
did it in 72nd, where you could put it on the back of that. But also, weren't they went on the back of a, like you've just said, an AN
225? Yeah, the big one.
Which?
Yeah, sure it did.
Ooh. Hey, that wouldn't be a bad conversion, would it? That looked pretty cool.
That'd be quite cool if you did that to it. Yeah.
So there you go. We've given you ideas. So go out and buy one, and then you can
go out and buy one. You know what it's like then.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Anyway, TACM. We got some AFE stuff as well with the Churchill.
Yeah, border models.
We've got the Crusader.
Nice.
That's it. We've got the 1005 Stage 2. What's that chassis?
It's a Centurion, isn't it?
Is that a Centurion?
Yeah.
It's just a massive turret. They got that one at Bovington, haven't they? I'm sure that's one parked outside. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it called a stage 2?
I don't
Why
know.
not stage 1?
I think they were experimental ones anyway, weren't they? So it was.
Yeah,
Have they got some nice reclining chairs in there? Some wing-back chairs, typical British military.
Yeah, I
So
think it might be. I
we
think it
need a
might
turret
be,
this big to get the furniture in.
Yeah, I feel it might be the stage 1 they've got at Bovington, to be honest with you.
Oh, right.
Not the stage 2, but I don't know. Don't
That's a
quote me on that.
big turret.
It is a massive turret. I imagine some high wing-back chairs in there and a nice something with on a doily.
Big gun though, isn't it?
Yeah. He's a big gun, yeah. It's interesting though, isn't it? If you're
It
into that.
is.
Like, obviously the IDF stuff, popular.
Yeah,
Always
been very popular.
And again, these are the stuff, damaged boxes and all that. So hopefully this year, when things are a bit back to normal and our friends at Rico get some deliveries
Yes.
in other places, we'll be updating them. So that's good.
Very good. Just got the pre-order section here.
Yep.
So we say we've got the Armour Hobbies. We're saying hopefully this won't be long, will it?
No, that won't. No,
For the 72nd one, looks really nice with all the markings in that one that we've covered.
Yep.
And we've got the Tornadoes, which is the ECR one. Hope that
Yep.
should be very soon as well.
should be very soon. Yeah.
Really looking forward to the Beaufort.
That's
Yeah,
been
that's
planned,
due.
though, isn't it? Is that one due? I thought one
That's
would be
due.
planned.
That's due. I've got a feeling end of the month as well. That's going to be, yeah, because that was supposed to be last year, weren't it? But
Yeah.
that's definitely due, or February, early Feb it might be, but it's due. It's due very soon because they're doing a new version. They're doing a top version, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is later on in the year. So they need to get that out quick before
Need to get that out quick.
it
Yeah,
catches up
before
with the other one.
But that should be very nice, I must admit. We've got the Flying Tigers one again. This is the Great Wall Hobbies one,
Yeah.
which is the very nice detailed one right the way through. Saying the 32nd one with all the bits in there. So again, that looks a bit tasty.
It does feel very nice, that does.
We're expecting the Tomcats in anytime now.
The Great Wall is Curtis is Phil's question mark on his list.
Is it?
Oh,
Squeeze that one through. So yes, and all the other bits and pieces hopefully we'll be seeing very, very soon as well. Can't think of anything else in here that we need to do.
I know what he should build for his question mark.
Oh God.
He's,
Go on.
He's MI8. He's got a lot of stuff now. There's a load more aftermarket come out for the MI8.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Thing is, it wouldn't take a lot to push me to do it because I'm a big hip fan. Literally.
You could do it along with me doing me Freylon.
Yes, it would be a nice one to do. Throw some goodies because the trouble with that kit is it's early trumpeter. It hasn't got much in it at all. It's basically a shell.
Obviously, there's wheels now. There's a new rotor head out for it. Somebody does a rotor. What else is there? I'm sure you'd have to have a look. But yeah, there's more stuff because you've got aftermarket for it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a load of stuff for
There's
it already.
more come out for it now. I wish there'd actually somebody jump on the MI4 because I'd build another one of them because there's one on the roof that's falling to bits. Literally, it's proper Soviet falling to bits on the roof. But if someone got out some updates for that, I'd do another one because I really enjoyed that when I did it a few years ago. So.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Hint.
Somebody do one, please. Right, so questions. We've got Nigel is saying, he said, whilst he was on his club's annual pilgrimage, I hope they were socially distanced, to Hannant's store at Lowestoft, they stumbled across a F-16 kit with the old frog logo. Scale made it. Yeah, this is quite old. Yeah, 2018. It was released, but it's the Academy kit. It's just that somebody's bought the actual frog logo name brand,
front brand, whatever.
Branding, whatever it is.
Correct it, but I don't think it quite took off.
Yeah, I'd say because obviously that kit isn't a bad kit, but again, it was one of those things. Like we discussed it at length at the time when it got released, and it just never really came to anything, did it? And we haven't done anything since. So
it's a strange company name to use to try and resurrect.
It is, yeah, because they've got a certain reputation for being awful.
Yeah.
Because of how old they are. They're cutting edge at the time, but,
We've sold a load in art model boxes.
Well,
yeah, but that's because people know what they're getting, isn't it? It's, that's classic, people who build classic kits. But if you're a new company...
Listen, right, if that box in there was a Vulti Vengeance or something, was a proper frog kit, do you think it would have sold better?
Yes.
I do, actually. I do. Because
if it was a frog kit, then because you get people, as you said before, and I don't mind having a go at them as well, is that it's nice to build the old classic kits. Like I built the old Hella one last year and all the rest of it. Because actually there's something quite satisfying about building the old ones.
Yeah.
But to put in an Academy kit, which isn't bad, and rebox it in that, I don't know, the dynamics don't work,
Really, what they should have done is done a completely new tool kit.
Yeah.
If you're resurrecting something like Airfix reinvented themselves, where they obviously, you'd have thought perhaps they would have done that and tried to, even if it's an old classic frog kit updated to new standards. Yes. I don't know. I'm just getting ideas here, but that's it. They've never done anything else. So I wonder if it's mothballed or that's not going to be worth it. I don't know. It just it doesn't have the same appeal, I don't think, as Airfix or Matchbox, does it? I don't know even if the Matchbox brand would be resurrected if it would work nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's one of those things where if the brand has now been really outdated, it's very difficult to bring it back. Airfix, at least they were chipping along with it, and then, as I say, over the last sort of 20 years now, they've completely reinvented themselves. And they've moved away from the classics. They still with their roots and they do it, and that's why they put proudly on the box now, classic kit and all the rest of it, because they've moved away from it. But for a company to sort of come along and use the name, and
the thing is with Airfix, it's an institution, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
It's a staple of the modelling world. Airfix, everybody knows Airfix. It's been around since year dot, and in one guy's or form, I know they've been taken over and all that lot, but they've always been ongoing. Where Frog, I think, was it the 70s they went out? Because I can't remember Frog kits when I was.
No, I don't remember Frog kits as being a company.
When I was a lad, I can't. There were never Frog kits then, so I think they've been defunct. So you're looking 40 years probably. That business. So.
The first time I bought some Frog kits was literally I moved house and there was an old general stores and he had some old Frog kits gathering dust.
Right.
And I think I used to pay 75p for them.
Yeah.
And because I said to him, "Oh, can you get some more?" And he's like, "No, that's it." Yeah. Not knowing anything about it at the time as a kid, and that was all it was. So.
They did back in the day, the really interesting subjects as well. They were a bit sort of Matchbox in their way of something a bit sort of different from everybody else, weren't they? I mean, Shackleton was a staple until the new ones came out, which took out really forever, weren't it? Because that was it.
Yeah.
So.
Phil, what's your VC10 build? Question: what size cord plastic did you use the refueling hoses? Oh God! I used it's cord stuff. Hold on. I have to unlock this. Where are we? It would have been. Which one did we use? It's the corded type. It's non-corded. That's corded. So I think it would have been. No, it couldn't have been that one. That's too thick. I think it was 1.5 mil. 1.2? Yeah, 1.2 mil. And obviously mine's got the metal in it. Oh, you're over there. It's got the metal in it, so you can bend it. So I've got a slight swag onto it. So, yes.
Can I just apologise to Mark as well, because he sent me a message asking me about the refueling baskets. But it was in the time when I was getting all the messages about the auction. I was getting like 20 odd messages a day and so I never got around to replying to him. But the refueling baskets I did for Phil, my lad did the CAD for it, and I never kept the CAD. I never thought there'd be any need for it, so I haven't got the CAD anymore to do them. So
also, I did make a slight change to them as well. We put a little bit on the basket, so when it inflates and opens up, because the one that there was more like the American version, where it just has a bar around the outside. The British one has almost like a parachute-y bit around it that opens it up, so I just put that into it as well. Sorry, I haven't got the CAD to do it anymore, so can I do them? Chris is asking a question, but we will defer that one over to obviously the normal shows, I think. David says, hi team, happy new year to you all. He's seen a scheme for a 48 scale Curtis P40F that he would really like to build, but he can't find a manufacturer who does the F type. He thinks the same with the Kitty Hawk Mark II, but can't find any of those either. Is there one that he's missed?
The only one that did them all, I think, in 48 was Asagawa. But you'll do a bit of searching because I don't think they're available if you know. But I don't know from my, knowledge of kits, I don't know if they ever did an F, but they did every other version.
The AMT did an F.
AMT did an F?
Yeah.
I tell you what, we might actually have that in stock.
Oh, right.
We've got AMT ones were reboxed by Italere. And we've got a P40 in, but I don't know, obviously sat here, I don't know what version it is, but...
I'll have a look on the shop.
It could be an F, but it could be a different one, because I know they did a few, didn't they?
I'll have a look.
Didn't Asagawa then do one on scale, mate?
Let me just have a look at this Italere thing first.
I don't know what version it is, but it's probably an early one. Don't know.
Max also put up a question about black painting and stuff like that. We'll defer those guys over to the normal shows, if you like, because they're not really PM questions.
Yeah.
And then David basically said, Happy New Year, guys. Just curious to what air pressure you use for airbrush your builds. Again, these are questions, these ones, guys, should really be for the normal shows or Tuesday shows and things like that, rather than this show, because obviously this is more of a PM show. But yeah, air pressure, as I say, don't use air pressure, David. Never know. I couldn't tell you what air pressure I spray at all. Watch the videos. It's all the sound and flow.
It's low.
It's an E and a E stroke K that we've got in the...
So where's the F bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does make you wonder if you can do a bit of surgery yourself, or if anybody does an aftermarket conversion.
I would have thought, like I say, Asagawa would have done the F if anybody out in 48, because they did do loads of versions of it. You know what Asagawa are like; they're pretty savvy on, And now I think that went together as well. They could, because the canopies were different, and then the guns or wing. Can't remember on a P40, but whatever. But it was modular, so you could put a different tail on it, weren't it? That was it.
Yeah.
Tails were different.
They always had the brake on the tail, and you slid the different tails in.
I think the canopies as well, how they moulded the canopy so they could put the different style canopies on. And
also, I think it's with the cooler on the front, isn't it? The radiator. They have different versions of mouths on it and that as well. So that was always a plug-in. So yeah, you would think that there would have been a version of it. It was very modular how they moulded it. They could get different versions. So, yeah. Yeah. Cool. Anything else, Andy? Have you got it? No.
Yeah, I was looking hobby crafted one, but I imagine that's probably a rebox of the AMT one.
Perhaps it's AMT then. Don't know. Bit of googling.
Yes.
Flee a friend to find out, because it will work.
Yeah, and like I said, Hasegawa.
I say, if it's only a small difference as well, that you could perhaps make, if it is, because I know you put on there as well, it might be something to do with the cooler, you might be able to adjust it, make it yourself, to whatever type it is and stuff. Or would anybody know? If it's something like a very small thing, not got the knowledge of a P40 to know the sort of differences, to be honest, so I won't have a clue. Cool. Very good.
Cool.
Right. Okay, guys, we will leave it right there. That's an hour, as always. Thank you very much for joining us. Back to this year. As I say, hopefully this year will be a bit more productive, shall we say, than it has been the last couple of years, with releases and stock coming through and things like that. We can get back to a little bit of normality. It'd be really, really nice.
Can I just say that the first part of Matt's Sherman build will be going up today.
Oh, good. Well, it'll be below here then. If you do it, when this goes up at 5 o'clock, I will put it on.
Closely followed by the second part, and then hopefully closely followed by the third and fourth parts. It depends on how much painting is done.
Depends how much waffle I've done instead of coffee. There's a lot of waffle on this one. Because I get moaned at because my head gets in the way a lot, so I've waffled more than built.
First part's going up today, so I'll post it on forum and Phil
Just
Leave
while
below this.
we're on that, sorry, just while we're on the PM YouTube channel, sorry, bit of a shameless plug here, but thanks for everybody who's subscribed. Just have a load of subscribers on it over the past over Christmas and everything. So we're nearly up to 600 subscribers, which is wow. I'm pretty blown away, to be honest. I know people are like, oh, I get to 1,000 or 2 or wherever they go to. I've got no aims of just doing it for the fun of it, and you know.
When do we get a plaque?
When do we get a plaque, Bill?
100,000.
100,000.
Nearly there. So, no, thanks for everybody for subscribing and and watching the videos. To be honest, it's humbling. I think is the word. To be honest,
Yes, it is.
Especially my bumbling way of doing it. So,
We do read every comment that comes through.
So thank you for that. Anyway, let's wrap it up and get on with something.
Right, lovely. There's no show tomorrow night because I'm not here. It's my other half's 50th, so we're off to a nice meal. And I said you can have anything off the pound saver menu.
Hey,
you'll be fine.
Back is again, is it?
We'll be both the best dressed people in McDonald's for a sit-down meal with table service.
Yeah, do a selfie.
We were originally all joining you, weren't we? But
yes, unfortunately can't do that because of COVID and things. Right, okay then guys, we will leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you all again very soon. Happy modelling, take care, bye.
Bye.